Welcome to the Scarlet and Rage podcast. I am Michael, the voice of reason, and this is my co-host, Jay, the voice of rage. Thank you for watching. Those of you that are, those of you that will be watching live or joining us live, and those of you that are going to be watching after the fact, we appreciate you tuning in. And we would also appreciate if you would hit that like and subscribe button. We have a big announcement today, as we, say in the title there, major announcement. We're going to get to that in a minute. But before we get to that, I want to discuss a couple of things as far as super chats. There have been a few of you that have tried to give super chats in recent episodes. We are trying to resolve that. We don't know exactly what the issue is. It almost seems like maybe they've disabled super chats until you reach 1,000. I don't know. We don't know that to be a fact. There's not a whole lot of customer service with YouTube, but we are trying to get it fixed. If it was like simple, easy, and we could just kind of click a few buttons, like we'd have it fixed already. As you know, both of us have full-time jobs, and this is just something we do on the side. And so, yeah, we're working on it. And so we're going to have it back up at some point, hopefully sooner than later. But until then, thank you for trying. We certainly hate it that we can't receive your gift. Hate it that you went through the frustration of that. And hopefully we can get that ironed out very, very soon. But I'm honored that some of you were wanting to give super chats in the first place. Rage, Jay, whichever alias you're going by this evening, we got a big announcement. I know. You got anything before we kind of get into that? What's been going on?
Yeah, well, Rage and Jay, I feel like both are present today for differing reasons. But number one, Michael, I feel like we haven't advertised our Twitter account enough, or not Twitter, our X account. Michael, sir, could you put the link to our X account over the top? Because we are on X. We're trying to grow there, and we need to make it a point to advertise that we are on X. And if you want to reach out to us in any way, you can reach out to us there. We're going to figure out different ways to, reach us via email as well. But Michael, if you could select our X link and just show that, that would be great. And just have it go across the screen there.
Okay. It's up here at the top in the chat. This is our X link. Our X link is also found on our YouTube homepage. If you know how to get there. The other link we're going to share with you here in just a moment is also found on the YouTube homepage. And so just briefly, because this is pretty important, we don't want to, waste your time with stupid stuff. But because this is pretty important, I want to go ahead and try and share this. Let's see here. Okay. As you see right up here at the top, can't see it too great, but as you go to our homepage, gives a little description there. There's one link. You see the more button, you just click more. Both links will come up. That's to our X and to what we're about to, discuss. Something else that we're hoping that you guys will join and go to. If you would, please follow us on X. We're going to try and develop a little bit stronger presence on X. We're approaching 1,000 followers on X. I mean on YouTube, our subscribers. Let's get to a couple of hundred subscribers on X. If just those of you that watch the show will just go subscribe on X, that'll be helpful. There's 14 of you watching now. We could have 14 new followers on X. We'll follow you back. We're not one of those accounts that just wants to have a bunch of followers and not follow anybody else. We'll follow all of our listeners back and be glad to interact with you as we can. And I think that's it as far as that goes. So let me take that out. All right, back to the normal. So there's our X information. Please hit it up. Please get it. Football season's coming. There'll be a lot on X throughout the season, a lot of discussions. But speaking of discussions, Jay, are you ready?
Yeah, I am. But one last thing, Michael, the video game came out last week. We didn't really announce that, but last Thursday,
Mhm.
the NCAA 26 video game came out, the hard copy. The digital copy actually came out on Monday. But were you aware of that?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, dude, I feel like this game isn't nearly as hyped as last year, but I got it the first day. I was actually on a trip, should I say,
Mhm.
not vacation. We just went on a family trip to the beach, so call it what you will, but I got it there in Charleston. I got the game and I played it, and surprisingly, Michael, do you know who the team I figured out who I'm using in the game is?
Who?
Texas.
Oh, now why are you using Texas? You just think they're the best, or what?
They actually are not the best team. The best team in the game is Alabama. But the
Really?
way, yeah, I was very surprised myself. It doesn't make any sense to me. I guess they return a lot on defense. Their defense is like a 94 in the game, or maybe higher than that.
Mhm.
Um, I think it might be like a 96 or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Ohio State's good. They're not like great. And I really had problems throwing the ball at Julian saying all 5'10" of him. And,
Is that what they've got him at?
I mean, that's what I'm calling him,
Uh,
I don't particularly like that. The receivers are great, but like, I don't know, man. The offensive line is, once again, very low rated. Their defense, like, it's weird. The spots in the video game that are like of the utmost importance are defensive end
mhm,
and I would say corner. And
mhm.
Ohio State is really weak at both spots in the game. Like Jermaine Matthews is not rated well. Igmanosin is, he's rated pretty well, but I don't know. It's just, I don't really like their defense. Alex Stiles is a highly rated linebacker, and, the linebackers are probably the least important position on the field. So I just really like Texas's personnel, and Arch Manning is, he's a good quarterback. He's like 6'4" and can run. So I
Mhm.
can use him decently. So yeah, man, I use Texas in the game.
Well, speaking of those important positions, Jay, um, I don't know that this is going to make you any happier. I don't know that this really matters in the grand scheme of things, but I just thought I would mention it before we went any further.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that Sam Greer, of course, a committee, and Kiari Wilder both got moved up significantly in the rankings in the Rivals rankings. Now, I haven't checked the other ones. I just became aware of this. But one got moved up to the 14th best player in the country. The other one got moved up to the 38th or 40th best player in the country. So both got a bump. So, that can't be a bad thing. I don't know that it's like the greatest thing in the world, but that's not a bad thing.
It's interesting. So this they dominated. They finished like 1 and 2 in like a rivals camp. That's why that happened. Like Harley Wilder from California and Sam Greer, they both like finished like 1 and 2 in like some like national camp, and that's why they moved up so far in the rankings. But rivals, crazy enough, like it's about to cease to exist. It got bought out by On3, which is sad because Rivals was literally like the first recruiting service I followed as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, no, I mean, are you saying really like that's the first service I followed, or it got bought out?
No, like really, that's the first service that you followed.
Yes.
Mm.
I do remember following, like, I was like in 8th grade at the time, and I followed the 2002 recruiting class, and I feel like that was like the first one I kind of followed, and I was more asking my dad what was going to happen with Mike DeAndrea, like if he was going to commit to Ohio State, because he was like a 5-star at the time type thing, But yeah, man, that's that. I mean, that's good news that those guys both moved up, but that doesn't fix the problems we're having recruiting, a plethora of other guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, that's a plus. Hopefully, they will earn that once they get to Ohio State, because it's all that really matters. I guess some of the other services don't quite see them that high. You explained that they were at a Rivals camp, but good news on those guys, and hopefully some more to come. Jay, before we get into this fully, can I let me take just a minute and give an update on this NIL issue. We have talked about this. If you want to go back to one of the last couple of episodes, it's entitled, I think NIL's in the title. You can go listen. It's a evolving landscape, and maybe good news for Ohio State because they have really limited and kind of decoupled the university from the NIL collectives, and they are trying to do this what they feel is the right way and a sustainable way. And there's been some other schools that have said, forget it. We're going wild, wild west, continuing forward. There's been some consternation and hand wringing and tearing of clothes from Buckeye fans. There's been a discussion, obviously, on multiple podcasts and our podcast, but the new clearinghouse that has to approve NIL deals has been not approving the vast majority of the NIL deals coming to their desk from universities across the country. They have been denying them, stating that under the new rule, these deals are a no-go. In one way, that's a good thing. In another way, what is going to keep certain schools from just doing these things under the table? Who's really paying attention to that now? That's a different subject, different debate for a different time. But that was a little bit of positive news on the NIL front. What some of these other schools are doing are not working to take a complex subject and make it as simple and digestible as possible in like 1 minute. It seems, the way I interpret it, the clearinghouse is looking at these deals and they are using the criteria of a professional athlete. In other words, they are trying to be the determiner of, is this deal truly something from the market, an endorsement because there's a business, there's a company that wants to endorse this player, or is this simply big pockets funneling cash into nonprofits and then the nonprofit funneling that cash to pay for play? It's confusing. It's convoluted. It's going to be hard to monitor, but that is supposed to be the criteria, that as these deals come to the desk, they say, is this a deal that a professional athlete would be offered? If the answer to that is no, the deal is denied. And the vast, vast majority have been denied.
Well, is this good news or bad news for Ohio State? I guess is my question to you.
Well, I think it's good news because they have distanced from the collectives and they are trying to kind of, from my understanding, kind of reformulate and restructure where the collectives fit in. And it's maybe made some of their packages look not quite as appealing this recruiting cycle, but it's looking like some of those packages that might have been so appealing are not really going to be there. They're a phantom existence because they're not going to get approved by this new clearinghouse committee.
I see. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Yeah. Michael, are we ready to get into why we're here today?
I'm ready.
I'm ready, man. So, Michael, here we go. I'm going to crack this open right here.
What are you drinking, Jay?
I'm drinking.
Looks like an IPA of some kind. Are you drinking?
Yeah,
okay.
Here, it's. I'll show it to the everyone here. It's like my second favorite drink. It's Wicked Weed Pernicious. It's out of Asheville, North Carolina. Michael, the reason why I'm cracking that open is because this is a celebration, my friend.
You're right. Celebration of what?
What a journey it was to get here. And what we are celebrating is the official launch of the Scarlet and Rage message board.
Absolutely. So
yeah,
let's get into what that is. If you're here, if you're listening, we got 15, now it's 13. It's bouncing back and forth there. If you're listening, get in the chat. and let's talk about this, because just like we wanted you to go and get on the X, we want you to go and get on this message board. Here is the that's
just
the website.
Leave that up for a while, Michael. Just leave it up. Just leave it up to stay there for a while.
It is a website based message board. You just go to the website, just like you would go to bucknuts.com or buckeyescoop.com. The difference is there's two major differences in this. I think both of them are important. Number one, it's free. You don't have to pay for it. You can just go and post and converse. And we want to take the online YouTube community and move it to the to this forum. Michigan fans, you're welcome to come. Maybe it'll be the only place on the internet where Michigan fans and Buckeye fans converse and debate and have conversations. So it's free. It's not limited to football. You can talk about politics. There's a section for politics. There's a section. If you're a lefty, feel free. If you're a righty, feel free. Doesn't matter which wing you're on. If you're in the middle, feel free. Go ahead. Get in there. If you want to talk about politics, if you want to talk about Ohio State football, if you want to talk about Michigan football and start a Michigan thread, do it. If you want to talk about Oregon football and start an Oregon thread, do it. SEC football, whatever. It's all allowed. We are going to have to experiment with like no rules and hopefully not, having just a total free for all and chaos, but within reason. We are not going to be censoring what you say, outside of totally crazy things. But if you have opinions and if you're stating those opinions, we're not going to censor you for those opinions. You're not going to get kicked off this board the way that, I have gotten banned from other boards at times for stating simply nothing but opinions that the moderators did not like. Jay, give me your thoughts.
Michael, I don't know where to start here. I never thought, it was possible to pull something like this off. But you and I, we did it, man. The board looks absolutely amazing. And yes, everyone that is listening, make sure to visit that link. I believe there is a way for you to create your own username on there. Please do. And when you do, please as well market it to all of your friends. Tell them free message board. This is the Ohio State and sports message board of the future. We are going to surpass every single one, I promise you, in the next couple years, because we are not limiting any kind of we are just not limiting any kind of speech here, man. And we're not asking you to pay. Michael, big thank you to our producer, Jeff. I believe he is here tonight in the chat, and his son, Tyler, the tech expert behind the creation of this site. Sports fans, college fans, Michigan fans, Buckeye fans. Now we have a place where we can all converse with no fear that our thoughts and opinions will be struck down. The biggest question here, Michael, is why did we do this? Why? I mean, you kind of said it already. Sick of the communism running rampant on pretty much all sports message boards. I'm sick of it, man. If you are a skeptic or have an opinion that goes against the majority, then you are attacked and banned from said message board. And this is just across the spectrum for being too negative. What kind of bullshit is that? Michael, I was notorious, I guess, back in the day on scout.com. Yes, I was Maker84. Yes, if people know who Maker84 was, that was me. That was me on scout.com. I was banned probably 10 different, under 5 different usernames on scout.com. I've been banned on Bucknuts, under 6 different usernames. I've been banned on our Cincinnati Red Zone, Michael, 2 or 3 different times. I've been banned on the Detroit Pistons message board. I've been banned on every fucking board, and I'm sick of it. Again, I'm not the only one. A lot of people have run into these problems. And again, they're not even really being incendiary with their rhetoric, Michael. They're just stating opinions that are different than, should I say, the norm, or basically it almost seems like the hive mind level of thought. They're going against that grain, and those people then complain to the moderators, and then the moderators bend to them and remove these people on these message board. Now, again, the moderators suck too. I'm not trying to make excuses for them, but that seems to be the biggest problem, Michael. Do you want to add anything to that about why we did this?
Well, no, I mean, I think you cover it. We just wanted a place that would be open and free, and that people could discuss, because some of the major message boards, like, you guys know me on here, and I'm a little bit more amped up sometimes on the message boards at certain times, but I don't say crazy things. You don't have to agree with everything I say, but if I'm saying something, I have a argument behind it. I have a basis for saying that. Like, I don't just fire stuff off. I think probably if you watch this, you probably know by now. I kind of think deeply on stuff. I try to think things through. I try to see things from different angles. And when you do that, sometimes you try and project what is going to go forward. You're not always right. That's why it's a projection. It's not a fact. You're saying, based on this, I see this. And that kind of thing, if it wasn't the right opinion, could get you banned on these boards. It's not going to get you banned on this board. It's not going to get you disciplined on this board. You can say and express your opinion what you want. And that's it. It's that simple.
I find it interesting you mention all of that, because Michael, dude, I swear I've seen you post on Bucknuts. And, for the record, everyone, Michael and I met on Bucknuts. I reached out to him because he was being just blatantly attacked. And I'm like, I really like what this guy is saying. And I had been banned at the time. I reached out to him and said, dude, I don't know who you are, but I just really appreciate that you are standing your ground and giving your thoughts and this, that, and the other. And yeah, man, we just hit it off and became very, very, very good friends. And, we started this show how long after? I think it was a couple months after we met, right? Maybe 6 months after.
Yeah, you kind of floated the idea out there. Hey, I've always kind of wanted to do just a fan Buckeye podcast. And I was like, well, I kind of know a little bit about doing a YouTube thing. Not a lot. Mm-hmm. Still don't know a lot, but I know how to at least get it up and get it on there. And so, yeah, so that's how this podcast came about. That's how this channel came about.
And you got attacked with the intensity of basically the heat of 1,000 suns, man. You would just get attacked for just making random comments. Does Larry Johnson? Yeah, I don't even know. Is the coaching right? I'm questioning Ryan Day here, and people would fucking attack you just for that.
Yeah, they said a lot of things. They said, a common one was either where did Ryan Day touch you, or what did, when did Ryan Day smash your wife? Comments like that, even worse. And yeah, just absolutely, because it was a group think. And so with this board, the moderators are not going to enforce groupthink. Why? Because Rage and I are the moderators, along with producer Jeff, and we're not going to have any kind of agenda. It's going to be open discourse, free, free thought, and looking forward to it. If you would click on that link, all you got to do is sign up and make a username, and then you will, you'll be ready to go. You'll be ready to start posting. You'll be ready to join the conversation. Jay, let me go ahead and share something here real quick. We may leave this up potentially for the rest of the show. I don't know, but here it is. Here's the message board. I think it's a great looking message board. You've got the forum. It's where we're going to talk. You can contact us if you need to. If you want to learn a little bit more about us, you can go to the about. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. All you guys know how to do this at this point. pretty user friendly. You can start your own subject. People can jump in and join it. And it goes how it goes. It's just a free flowing marketplace of thoughts and ideas. And you can see on there how we've got the different boards, whether it's football or whether it's politics or whether it's general or whatever it is. Just get on there, click around, make an account, and let's start the conversation going into the season. Tell your friends about it. Tell your family about it. Tell the ones that are a member of these other boards, Bucknuts and some of these other places. We're not competition to them because we're free. If they want to still pay for that, great. Let them keep paying for that. But they can come on this one at absolutely no cost, and they express their opinion freely however they want. Here's an important thing here real quick.
And you don't need approval from us either, by the way, to start that.
No, you just do your account.
Like 11 Warriors is bitch asses.
Yes, I never got on 11 Warriors message board because the approval
I tried. They never allowed me on.
Yeah, the approval process was weird. Slip and Skippy, I've been banned from 4 to 5 Ohio State Facebook fan pages, all because I've criticized the 2023 season, which was painful to watch at times. Exactly, Slip and Skippy. That's why you need to come on our message board. You're never going to get banned. If you're one of our watchers, it would be great if you made your username the same thing so we'd kind of know who you are. You don't have to do that, but it'd be nice if you did. We'll be pretty easy to find. We're just Michael and Jay. And so, looking forward to it. We're going to be on there. Jay, during the season, I tend to be a heavy poster sometimes during particular parts of the season. I don't always. During the off season, I've never posted a tremendous amount on any of the boards. Bucknuts primarily being the one that I have been a part of. And this is going to become my primary place. Not that I'll never post on Bucknuts. Maybe I will never post, but I'm definitely not going to as much because it just is not interesting to me when we all have to kind of think and say the same thing. So this is not a in the box kind of podcast where we're just going to tell you the same kind of stuff that every other place does. We're going to give, I guess, edgy opinions. I don't think they're edgy opinions. I think we're just willing to, criticize or willing to point out things that we think are problematic. Obviously, we want the Buckeyes to do good. I remember last season when we lost to Oregon and then when we lost to Michigan, there was this brief time where all of the years of hate and ridicule, there actually started to be some people that would post things like, my username was Sam1. Sam1 was right about Ryan Day all along. And I'll tell you, the fact that I immediately was proved wrong by Ryan Day didn't bother me. It's what I wanted the whole time, is for Ryan Day to coach like that, for Ryan Day to get that out of the talent that he had, because I knew that the talent was there to get over the hump. And, thank goodness they did. Outstanding season, of course. And I couldn't have been happier to be proved wrong. I came out on that board in the Notre Dame game. I posted, I was wrong about Ryan Day. That was my title.
And you still got a bunch of downvotes.
Yeah, I did. But a lot of people came around and said, hey, we give him credit. He had his opinion. Now he is, I still have some on there that are they want to attack me no matter what I post, where I post. Happened the other day. But that doesn't matter. None of that matters. What matters now is get on this board, start the conversations, and get going with it.
Yes, I want to see some threads created tonight, everybody. On top of that, funny fact, Michael was saying he was wrong about Ryan Day. Literally, we won the title 10 years ago. I posted on the Ohio State message board, happy to be national champions. And literally the entire thread was people just attacking me, saying I was a piece of shit and fuck you and you're not an Ohio State fan and all of this stuff. So whatever. But, to add on to all of this, the greatest sports message board up until what ours is going to be, I've ever seen was, so it was called Spurs Talk for the San Antonio Spurs NBA basketball team back in the day. I think it's become more civil now, Michael, but those dudes, they were the craziest fuckers on the planet saying whatever the fuck ever. And honestly, it was highly entertaining. like that free of thought and like no moderation. That's what I want our board to be. I want to be, I want our board to be exactly that thought right there. You know, I don't want our board to be buck nuts. You know, Michael, I think we can all say, fuck buck nuts. Fuck the old scout.com. Fuck Dave Biddle. Fuck Dan Rubin. Fuck Steve Hellwagon. Fuck all these dudes, man. And fuck Kyle Lamb from the old scout.com days. You know, and 11 Warriors also sucks. You know, you see people complaining about 11 Warriors. Fuck, I was reading it the other day, and again, I can't post on 11 Warriors. One guy out of like 30 is questioning the line recruiting and saying it's abysmal. And Michael, people are attacking him like crazy. And it's like, why? What did he do to you? Because he's questioning this? Like, are you that fucking just a worthless piece of shit? It's like, Michael, and that's my biggest thing is, a lot of these people, what percentage of them would actually say this to anybody's face? Honestly.
Not many. Probably 1% or less.
Yeah, I think so too, because some of those people you run into inside the stadium, and I've had a couple of occasions where people have tried to come at me, and then I would come back at them, and then they don't do anything.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, because it's inhuman. Humans don't really behave that way. I mean, that's not real. That's not the real world. They don't behave that way. They don't just attack. We would prefer if you didn't just get on there and attack people as well. If we would prefer if you got on there and stated your opinion, but you know, again, we're not your parents. And you know, if you're going to be on there and be a nasty, low quality poster, then you're just not going to get many interaction and you can live with your own consequences. But,
I will say this, you know, this doesn't mean that, you know, we want freedom of thought, freedom of speech. This doesn't mean I really want you posting, you know, super sexually explicit content. Of course, you know, that's just going to get removed. It's not going to get you banned. I might say like, dude, what are you posting this for? You know, why, you know, that kind of thing. You know, in another example is if you post somebody's home, you know, like if you're, you know, like their home address, because I've seen that before. People have like found people and then posted their home addresses, you know, threatening to attack or kill them. You know, that's going to be dealt with. You know, Michael, what's the solution here? Private messaging. If you want to do all of that, then you could just private message that person and then it's out of our hands, because I really don't want to deal with it. Whatever you want to handle and your personal private messages, that's on you. That is on you. I couldn't care less what you private message somebody. I'm not going to police that. That's out of our hands. You know, we're basically just providing a platform, I guess, but who's to say? I mean, if you've already found somebody's home address, you already know who they are. So that's not really on us at that point. I don't know what else to add to that, Michael, but I do like that we have private messaging as a option.
Yeah, you can do that as well. And good point when you said that. Yeah, we're not monitoring. We're not like moderating or censoring speech. We are censoring content, obviously. You know, because you know all content is not allowed. This is a board to discuss things. This isn't an explicit board where any of that kind of stuff is allowed. So good point, Jay. Thanks for getting out there. That would obviously get removed immediately. You know, it's a place for discussion about sports, politics, and things in general. It's not a place for anything else. You can go all over the internet for a lot of other stuff if you want to get into that. This isn't the place for it. But yeah, it's a place to discuss Buckeye football to whatever degree, to whatever intensity, to whatever passion, to whatever degree you want to do it. It's free and it's open. So hope you guys will get on there and let's see here.
You know, Ohio State fans, you know, we obviously want you there. It's primarily an Ohio State board, but hey, you know, Michigan fans, you know, we want you there. Michigan fans, all of the Michigan fans who are subscribed to us, we want you there. You know, any sports fan base, you are welcome. This is a safe place, not a place to be constantly be looking over your shoulder with Big Brother. That's it. We want every sports fan base. Again, we've got an Ohio State forum. We have got a pro sports forum. Again, once we start getting more users, I think we are going to explore maybe making like a Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL forum. But until that happens, it's just going to be a pro sports forum. We have a political forum. If you like Trump, if you hate Trump, if you want to eat out Hillary Clinton, that you can do that. You can post that there. If you want to suck Barack Obama's dick, you can do that and post that there. Like, I want to suck Barack Obama's dick. That's fine. That's fine. But like, just don't post like fucking photos of that shit. I don't want to. That's going to be fucking dealt with. But again, that's just what I'm saying. Everything is pretty much welcome, though. Just don't be too explicit about it. Like, just, again, like, as you can see, I mean, we have high school as a forum on there, politics, pro sports, general. So the general forum, for instance, that's going to be anything in the entertainment industry or anything about, like, if you need like references on what to do with, oh, my car broke down, this is what's going on. Maybe we have some mechanics out there who can help. Something like that. Oh, the weather today here and there. And you know what I'm talking about, Michael? Just basically a general off-topic forum. That's what the general is for.
Yeah. And so producer Jeff, he was telling me through text message here, click on the actual board so people can see. So here's the board. You see it. You've got general, you've got pro sports, you've got politics, you've got Ohio State and college sports. Ohio State and college sports is where you can go and post whatever you want about college sports or football. That's where you can, if you don't want to post about the Buckeyes, you don't have to. Obviously, being a Buckeye podcast and, primarily a Buckeye board, that's probably going to be a big part of it. But it's not limited to that. It's college sports in general. You can, do baseball, basketball, football, whatever you want. As time goes on, as the board grows, we may have to do different subcategories, but right now it's just the Buckeyes and college sports all in one pot, politics in the spot, professional sports in the spot, and general conversation in the spot. And so, has anybody in the chat gone and made a username yet? Can somebody speak to that, if you would? Jay and I have. We're going to kick off some topics here soon. We hope to see some of you guys in there. Jay, what else you got, man, on this? This was, let me say this too. This was Jay's idea. I'm not really going to take much credit for it. I really am not going to take any credit for it, to be honest with you, because I was there in the, the discussions and the design and everything like that. But Jay really is the one who spearheaded this and made it happen. So Jay, give us your thoughts. What do you say?
I just want to say one thing. I know I said something about sucking Barack Obama's dick. That was kind of hyperbole. I didn't actually mean that. I'm saying, like, if you worship at the altar of Barack Obama, that's kind of what I was meaning. I was going really far on the spectrum, but what I'm saying, that's what I kind of meant, not actually doing it. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your question again, Michael?
My question was just you discuss. You tell me.
Man, well, again, I told you all the reasons why I wanted to do this. I never really thought it was possible, man. And trust me, it wasn't cheap either. But you know what? I feel like I'm like just going full on Elon Musk in this bitch. Yeah, I mean, look at the thing, man. I mean, yeah, it looks great. And it's going to go places, man. I don't really have much to add there. Michael, but I think we're done with the message board thing. I would just leave it up. Maybe the link, maybe leave the link up as well. I don't know if you can add that on top of that. Maybe you can, maybe you cannot.
Add the link where?
Over top of what we see on the page there.
Got it. Let's see here.
I don't know if you can do that.
I don't know that the link clicks. I don't think you can click on the link.
Yeah, leave it up just like that. That's perfect. Let's just leave that up. Yep, that's perfect. Michael, so there is something I need to discuss.
What's that?
And, I was in such a great mood talking about this message board. And I'm still in a fairly good mood. But I'm starting to lose it. And I want to talk about that Superman movie. We talked about this with your sisters a week ago to close the show out. So I sent you the link. I don't know if you had time to watch it. Did you check that out by any chance?
No, I haven't yet. I did watch Jurassic Park this weekend.
You actually went to the theater?
Yeah, I actually went to the theater.
What did you think of that?
It was okay. I mean, it was somewhat entertaining. It wasn't great the first half. The story wasn't super believable. It was kind of, it was kind of whatever, but it was in the end relatively entertaining. I mean, it was a spectacle to see as most of the Jurassic Parks, but I wouldn't say it was top notch and I wouldn't say it was terrible.
I would say it was terrible. I would say it was the second worst Jurassic Park movie behind The Lost World. But with that being said, you know what was a more terrible movie?
What?
Was Superman.
Yeah.
I know you said you texted your sisters and they liked it, but I feel like they're pandering to their audience a little bit.
Well, they said that they liked it all right.
They're pandering to their audience because I watched their review.
Yeah. I didn't watch. Slip and Skippy liked the movie. Evidently, he says disagree, Jay.
And it looks like he activated an account on our site.
Awesome.
Thank you, Slip and Skippy. Yes, sir. All right. I feel like I'm just going to go on my soapbox right now, Michael. Can you give me a few minutes?
Yeah, go.
So this Superman movie, it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. I recently saw this movie called Mamma Mia. If anyone knows what that is. Michael, do you know what that is? Mamma Mia, like a musical?
Yes, I do know.
Okay. I watched that with my wife, and I remember like making the comment to her afterwards saying like that was like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Not only was the plot, it didn't make any sense, but it was just a terrible message for what I assume is the audience is like young women. And Superman, this movie was right there with it. I honestly, there was not a single good thing about this movie. Superman in the movie is weak. He's not interesting. He's an idiot. The plot makes zero sense. Krypto is a dumb, stupid dog. Superman doesn't do anything super. And, he saves fucking squirrels while ignoring like all of these hundreds of people dying. Like buildings are collapsing, Michael. And he just like saves a squirrel and it's like supposed to be like, oh, haha, he saved a squirrel. And it's like, oh, yeah. And it's like, okay. And also, they changed, spoilers, they changed Superman's origin story with his parents on Krypton. If we all know, his parents on Krypton sent Superman to Earth to basically guide Earth and lead the planet and I guess the United States, since he crash landed in the United States, to like a better tomorrow. That's why he's like the man of tomorrow. But they essentially made him a Viltrumite. And if people don't know what a Viltrumite is, that's from the show Invincible. So they essentially, his parents in this movie gave him the message to rule Earth and impregnate all the women on Earth to create more Kryptonians. Now, we don't find that out until halfway through the movie because Lex Luthor has to basically decode this message. Speaking of Lex Luthor.
Hold on, Jay. That was in this movie. That was part of this plot line. That was Superman's mission.
Yes.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. People aren't talking about it enough because it's kind of like glossed over at the end because he doesn't accept them as like his parents any longer. Like he goes and sits like in this, in the Fortress of Solitude, and he's tells these fucking robots like, "Oh, robots, show me my parents," and it's his Earth parents. So it's kind of like he erases the memory of his Kryptonian parents, but his Kryptonian parents serve as just as much as a purpose as his Earth parents. So they basically just completely retconned all of that and made his Kryptonian parents just completely shitty people. But it was
okay, Jay. So this,
I'm gonna have to fucking rage.
hold on. This plot line that Superman's supposed to like be the alien Genghis Khan. Did Superman like accept this mission, or did Superman like find out that this was his mission and realize like, no, that's not what I want to do? Like, how did that work out?
No, he didn't accept the mission. He
Oh.
had been Superman, it says in this movie. So they basically, dude, this movie is so bad. Honestly, dude, just off topic. People who like this movie, I feel like, are a bunch of fucking worthless cucks that don't get any pussy. And if they did, they're getting pegged by the women that they're with. Like, it feels like that kind of thing. And Slip and Skippy, I don't mean that personally towards you. You're a cool guy. But I've listened to, like, the most of, like, the movie review people. And it's the people that I actually, like, follow and put merit into, like, they all hate the movie. The people that are a bunch of stupid, worthless cucks, they like the movie. So what does that fucking tell you? Oh my God, dude. I am so, Michael, are you ready for this, man?
Yeah.
I don't, what really, really bothers me?
What?
So I don't know if you happen to ever watch the Superman, the animated series from the 90s. I feel like that really wasn't your show. It was more of a show for me. I don't know if you happen to know the cartoon from the 90s.
Not really.
Okay. I watched that show probably like 3 or 4 times. I'm currently rewatching it with my young son. But what really bothers me is people are comparing this movie to the animated series. What fucking animated series show compares to this fucking movie, Michael? What fucking episode compares to this fucking movie? Where in the fuck is Superman in the animated series talking to fucking Mr. Terrific like, oh, dude, I am fucking just saving the world, or oh, Crypto, stop biting my fucking boot. He's fucking acting like Ashton fucking Kutcher from Dude, Where's My Car in this fucking movie. And then in Superman, the animated series, and the continuation Justice League, he's actually a pretty stoic, serious, and he's to be taken seriously as a character. Not one time in this fucking movie do you take Superman serious. He is weak. He is a bitch. Like Mr. Terrific supersedes him in regards to just having a fucking plan. Superman is pretty much worthless in this fucking movie, man. Superman in the animated series, Michael, eventually becomes mind controlled by Darkseid and attacks Earth. You're telling me the tone of this movie, a movie where people are being attacked by a fucking monster and taking pictures with their phone and joking about it, you're telling me the writers of this movie could actually forge a script where Superman becomes evil and attacks Earth? I don't fucking think so. I am so sick and fucking tired of this shit and people not knowing what the fuck they're talking about and making statements, and everyone accepts it as fucking true. It is not fucking true. It is wrong.
Well, so I guess the weird comedy. I haven't seen it, but that doesn't surprise me because that's what is it? James Gunn. That's kind of one of his staples. Is he's kind of got this quirky comedy that sometimes people, I guess, like, and sometimes people think it doesn't fit or doesn't whatever. So you're saying You think he kind of dumbed down Superman, added this comedy in there, and it just wasn't the character. What about the Superman before? I can't remember the guy's name. He was just for like the one before Henry Cavill. How does it compare?
Ruth.
Yeah. How does it compare to that? Better,
Brandon
worse?
Ruth's movie was much better.
Much better. Okay.
I don't even remember it that much, but I can tell you it was much better. I remember watching it, and Superman actually does super things in that movie. He doesn't really do anything worthwhile in this movie. Honestly, he's a bitch, and it's a terrible dude. I'm literally sick and disgusted, Michael. I'm sick that the Zack Snyderverse. It didn't just end; it was taken from us, and I'm sick that we got stuck with this. Fuck this shit. And by the way, a lot of people are trying to say that like this movie is a box office hit. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because, for instance, worldwide opening weekend, The Man of Steel made $196.7 million. 24.20 million tickets sold. Superman, this movie, made 217 million, but there were 19.19 million tickets sold. Average ticket price in 2013, $8.13. Average ticket price in 2025, $11.31. There is no comparison. The Man of Steel movie, which by the way, I am rewatching this weekend to cleanse myself. Make no mistake, I paid zero money for this movie. I felt so upset watching this movie. Like I was kind of laughing at it, but there was really nothing to laugh at. I was kind of sitting there in disgust. And Michael, an audience, I hope you don't judge me. But at the end of this movie, the final 5 minutes, I was sitting there and a couple tears came out of my eyes. I sat there and a couple tears came out of my eyes because I was so upset that this is what Superman is now. The movie was not political. I want to make it very clear. It really wasn't political. I know people are trying to make, comparisons to, Israel and the Middle East. I didn't see it. The overarching problem is Superman, the movie, was just so bad. If it was there, I didn't notice it. All I noticed was how trashy this movie was. James Gunn cannot write a serious character, and we expect this guy to be able to write Batman? You're telling me this fucking guy is going to be able to write Batman?
Did he do the last Batman?
No. But he's going to. He's going to do the next Batman.
Now, I pretty passionately didn't like the last Batman. I didn't think that was a great movie. I didn't think it was a great portrayal of I mean, the Batman, I guess, was okay. It was fine. I didn't think it was a good portrayal at all. Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne was like an emo, depressed Bruce Wayne, and a skinny. He was skinny. He's not a big guy. I get it that they can put the suit on and all that kind of goes away, but I didn't love that Batman. So Patterson with Gunn, we'll see how that goes. I don't feel like I could like it a whole lot less. But you may be right. He may not. He may fumble it with that. I haven't seen the Superman, so I'm not going to say you did. I am going to watch it at some point. At least from what I have heard, they didn't get political with it. So I at least appreciate that it was, an apolitical movie. They weren't trying to seemingly make political statements. That part of it is good. But Jay, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you're disappointed with what they did with your favorite. It's your favorite character, right? Like one of your favorites, if not your favorite.
I would say Superman and Batman are 1A and 1B. I mean, they can be mix and match. I mean, Superman is such a more like, he's an ideal more than a character. I mean, he's not really meant to be relatable. And I said that on last week's show, but that doesn't mean that he's not something to strive towards every day. I get lost in the sauce and I'll watch a Jurassic World movie and I'll Google like the fucking Indominus Rex versus the DCEU Superman just for shits and giggles. Like, yeah, deep down, I know who's going to win that fight, but I like to read other people's comments about it and, stuff like that. And dude, it really, really, really hurts me. And it makes me really sad. And again, not only was the Snyderverse stolen from us, I don't know that it's ever coming back. And because of that, we're just stuck with this, man. We're stuck with this trash. And like I said before, only weird fucking people like really, really like, outside for the majority, weird fucking cucks like this movie. Because the people that are actually analytical and study Superman do not like this movie. They don't.
Here's some social commentary by Antone Johnson. And if it ain't woke BS, they literally have no imagination. You're literally talking about a generation of kids who grew up behind a computer and have no creative juices anymore and no social skills. I think there's something to that. The writing has just gotten so bad. The way that characters are written, the way that they pull people in, they just rely upon special effects and kind of a big spectacle. And have you noticed, Jay, that they've kind of started to make movies like our society? We have super short attention spans, and it's like flash, 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 YouTube short, Instagram story or Instagram short or whatever. And it's like movies have become that it's just a series of stuff that just never ending comes at you, to where you don't even really process a story. It's just kind of a big optical spectacle is what they've made a lot of these big budget movies. The storytelling's not there. Pulling people into the characters is not there. And it's just it's sad. I'm patiently waiting for Top Gun 3. Slip and Skippy. I thought we had Top Gun 3. No. We had Top Gun 2. I got you. Yeah. I mean, Top Gun 2, we talked about that. They did a pretty good job staying true to the character. I mean, there's not a whole lot else to say, Jay. I think it's why Hollywood's struggling. It's going to continue to be this way until people figure out that we like good stories, we like good characters, we like good movies. You do find some of that today, but it's spread out amongst a Netflix show or an Amazon Prime show or maybe a Netflix movie here or there, maybe an actual movie somewhere, but consistently it's just not there. And, from what you're saying, the diehards or the more serious fans probably were not, as a rule, a big fan of, this Superman rendering. Obviously, there's a lot of people out there that like it. I don't know. I'm going to watch it myself. I probably could find it maybe somewhat entertaining. I'm not as big into Superman as you. Batman is my favorite. I always liked Superman as a kid. I'm interested to see what my take on it will be. But Jay, sorry, man. Sorry that they let you down on this one.
I mean, the crazy thing is I went into this movie expecting it to suck, and it turned out even worse than I was expecting. Yeah. I just, some people in our audience, like, I am a big Superman fan. I grew up on Superman comic books, Batman comic books, X-Men comic books, Superman the animated series, Batman the animated series, Justice League. Like Slip and Skippy, no offense to you with that comment, but I mean, if you're turning your brain off and you're not looking in between the lines, of course, like maybe I can see how it resonates with you. But somebody like me who's looking at it, and I'm like, this was terrible. I mean, honestly, there's just no words to describe what that was.
I think it's probably like Star Wars. I paid a lot of attention to Star Wars as a kid and kind of knew some of the back stuff and paid attention to some of the nerdy stuff. And, I was very upset with what Disney did, but like you're a person that just kind of like, yeah, Star Wars is okay. It wasn't a big deal to them. They didn't know a whole lot about some of them went and liked it. So I get it. I get that there's different levels of fans and there's different expectations. But yeah, I don't know that there's a whole lot else to talk about here tonight. Jay, you got anything?
I was just gonna say, the Major League Baseball All-Star game is tomorrow, man. Do you think the National League can fucking win for once? Like, damn. Are you gonna watch it? Do you care?
I may watch it. I'm not sure.
It's the only All-Star game I watch out of all sports. I that's the only All-Star game I
So
make it a point
so
to
is Home Run Derby tonight? It's Home Run Derby.
Home
right
Run
now?
Derby is going on right now. It was
Oh.
literally while we were filming.
Well, let's get out of here and go watch the end of Home Run
It's
Derby.
over. It's over. It's 10:30.
All right.
It started
Well,
at 8. It's over.
Oh, who won?
I have no idea. I know that O'Neill Cruz from the Pirates was batting. I think that was interesting. I'm glad Ellie De La Cruz did not, because as they all say, it messes up your swing because you're getting those. You hit a bunch of baseballs at that softball style pitch. It like throws you off for at least the next 8 or so games.
Yeah. Well, I'll watch the rewind or the highlights of that. But if you don't have anything else, I don't have anything else, so we'll hop off.
Well,
here.
again, like to reiterate, follow us on X. Michael, pull up that X link you just sent. Antoine, you're a cool dude. I think you're a Michigan fan though, and that's fine. But please, get on the Scarlet and Rage message board, man. I want to see, everyone and your friends on the Scarlet and Rage message board posting on there, having, great discussions. Whatever you want to talk about, fair game. There's little to no moderation. We'll be there. It's going to be a great time. And Michael, man, I'm just so happy about that. Upset. I mean, I've kind of talked myself into a pissed off mode. I was in such a good mood, and now I'm in a bad mood. So, like I said, Jay and Rage were both present tonight.
Jay and Rage were both present. Antoine, I don't know if you heard, but that is a message board. It's free. You're a Michigan fan. You're invited. Come be part of the
Invite all the
conversation.
Michigan fans and post on all the Michigan social media to post there. You're welcome. We are up for open discussion. Michael, you did see that Michigan had a first-round pick in hockey, baseball, football, and basketball?
I did.
Ohio State is so far behind in Michigan. They are so far behind against Michigan when it comes to the 4 major sports. Is not even funny. Yeah, we are right there with them in football, but they are so far ahead in baseball, basketball, and hockey.
Yeah, it's true. Can't argue with that.
I have nothing else.
Guys, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. We'll be back again next week with an episode. We'll continue to promote this, get this out there. We'd appreciate if you'd do the same. Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.